Welcome back. It's now time to catch you up on the most recent episode of Survivor. We're getting close to the end.
So close to the end, and this episode was so good. Of season 44, yes. Okay, so let's get straight to the immunity challenge.
Okay.
So this immunity challenge is sort of like a Survivor classic of sorts. So I forget what they call it, but it's the one where they're like under the cage, okay? And they are grasping for air.
Oh my.
All right, so look at this. So
would that not scare you?
I would terrify me. I'm not sure I could do this challenge. So the way it works is the tide rises, and so they you slowly get, your face is forced to get closer and closer to the cage or to stay above it, hold your breath, things like that. So Lauren was first out.
Is that, she just gave up?
Yeah, so that's kind of how it works. Either you just like lose your breath or you give up because it's just like, too much.
Either you lose your breath or you drown.
Right, so Heidi was next. Heidi was the next out. And let me say, this was a really tight challenge. And the thing is, it's always really interesting to see how people are going to treat it. Because you never know, because everyone's different. And everyone's like comfortability level with that is so variant,
I would not have any comfortable anything about this.
Yeah, Carson was the next one out. And I actually would have suspected that he would have done a little better. Not to say I could have done better than him, but I was pretty shocked by that, to be honest.
So those cages aren't rising with tide?
No, but the water is coming
through.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like, I don't like this. I don't like anything about this.
Yeah, Danny was fighting really, really hard, as you can see, and then he finally had to give out. Now, the final two of this, which was interesting, was Jam Jam and Heidi, which I would have probably never guessed before it started. And then Heidi tapped out. And then Jam Jam, here's what's so funny. Jam Jam was still going because he was fighting so hard for it, so he has no idea. Jeff's like yelling at him. He's like, Jam Jam, you won. And they're all like, Jam Jam, you won. So finally, Danny had to hop in and tell him. So really exciting. And what's interesting is we've kind of seen that Carolyn, Jam Jam, and Carson, who were on Tika, have kind of been running the game. And now Jam Jam getting immunity, and then Carolyn still having her idol to potentially play as well, puts them in the most power, puts them in the best position.
Is that his first win on immunity?
I think so. I believe so, yeah.
It is.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting because I never, like recently I haven't really seen Jam Jam as a, maybe someone to win per se, but the more I think about it, Jamie pointed this out last week on the episode, he is a really good social game if you think about it, because he's kind of associated with everyone, which is really interesting.
And he's not offensive to people.
Yeah.
He's not annoying.
Yes. Yeah. So Tribal Council was really interesting because there was a lot of different ways this could have gone. It seemed like Carson was the target, but also the Tika 3 were trying to push off the target on either Danny or one of the girls, like Heidi, for example. So what's funny is when the votes came through, it was reflected heavily on that. And for the first time this season, we finally see Carolyn's idol played. So Carolyn decides to play the idol on Carson, which was really interesting.
She's had that so long.
Yes, sending Danny packing, which is crazy because Danny has been such a strong competitor.
Danny was very high up there. And Carolyn got really upset about this whole thing.
Yeah, so she was upset at the beginning of the episode because she was left out of the last vote, and she was upset by that.
So just some people turning their backs on her, but it's like that's also part of the game. So every time they get upset, I'm like, but that's how you play.
I think though, like especially after this last episode, I think that the Tika 3, so Carolyn, Jam Jam, Carson, I think it would be really cool to see them stick it out to the end together. Because you can tell, like, even though they've disagreed at certain points, they've kind of, in an odd way, had each other's back throughout the game.
It's kind of like family. You fight, but you love each other.
Absolutely, yes. The one thing I am nervous about, because we both have been vocalizing how we're Team Carolyn, I think her using the idol on Carson put a bigger target on her. Not because she used the idol, but because no one knew she had it, and then she whipped it out as this big move.
So she did
and
have
I think it raised, her target level a lot.
I'd say so.
It's been such an exciting season, though. We're only 1 week away from the finale. We've got tomorrow night's episode, and then next week is the finale, I believe. So that's very exciting. So brand new episode tomorrow night right here on CBS, or of course you can stream it over on Paramount+.